You do not foresee is that because you've been paying since, the landlord comes and says you have to move out. I've sold this place, so you have to go and rent somewhere else, and you now have to start paying agency, commission, and so on again. And Toby talked about having emergency funds, both from your personal life perspective, in terms of childcare and everything, and also from your business, because your business is an entity. What I mean by entity is that your business is also somebody, to that role, an artificial person, a fake human being, but a human being. You have to treat it as a proper human being. If not, the person will be broke. You are just going, every time you want to eat, you just go and carry somebody's money. Oh yeah, everybody drinks Zobo. That's what they were doing. They just go to the guy, just collect it. They don't care if the guy runs down. They are just treating him anyhow. So you see that business is a guy. That's your guy, like your bestie, your personal guy. You have to see that business as a guy on his own. Your business is an entity, is a person on his own. Okay, I've seen. I was looking for Miss Ganiat. I'm right now, Abby. Thank you. So that is talking about that your business is an entity. So now let's talk about it practically. How do I record in my book? We said it last week, but we want to do it now. Did anybody here buy their hardcover after our discussion last week? You did. Thank you. Okay, so that book that you've bought, that your hardcover, we've said that you're going to divide it into different sections. So let's start from practical bookkeeping, inventory, stock items. So when you are taking count of stock, you are just counting the items. But when I'm talking about inventory now, the additional step to it is that you are adding valuation to it. You are having an idea of the value of. Yes, ma'am. So number one is that the stock. You take stock of how many items that I have, the value per unit, value eyo kankan, then total value. So I entered the store. Flour, I have, so this is the description, stock item description, basic. Value per unit, total value. I have flour, I have sugar, I have eggs, I have salt, I have nutmeg, etc., etc. Quantity. For the purpose of this conversation, you have in your store a bag of flour. That's 50 kg. Yes. You have just one bag, 50 kg of this. Your stock keeping, as is having serial number, is having date. Your stock taking is having serial number, is having date. I have flour. On that day, I have 50 kg of flour, I have 50 kg of sugar, I have 10 crates of eggs. Unless you have pieces, you are writing 10 crates here straight. Salt, I have 2 kg of salt, and I have 10 kg of nutmeg, like that. Cost, you've done pricing. So the cost you are putting here, the unit value here, is based on pricing, not based on what brought it from the market. The flour, if you bought it 65k in the market, transport that delivered it, for direct items especially, the cost of flour to you is the cost that got it into your shop. Is the cost of it getting into your shop. When you bought it, it was only that one bag you bought, and every other thing. Alabaru that carried it, everything like that. When you finished, it came to 75,000 each. Sugar is the same thing. I don't know how much it is. I'm just.
I buy after.
Okay, but you see, the reason we are doing this is a hypothetical market visit. This thing that you are looking at might as well be leather. It might as well be thread. It might be hibiscus. It can be anything. It can be clove. It's just for the purpose of this conversation. So let's say that sugar is also 30,000 from the market. Egg is maybe, I don't know, 5,000 per crate.
6,000 per crate.
So 60,000 for the eggs. The salt, 2 kg, 3,000 naira. This is iye tó fi dé shop, not how much you bought it on the shelf. Please, let everybody take note of that. I'm emphasizing. Yes, our motto, everything like that. It is included in this. So if you decide that when they carry it for you, the person carried both 2 bags of flour and they also carried sugar and everything, you prorate it. You can prorate it by weight. In addition to all these things, this is your pricing that you're doing. One other indirect cost that you want to allocate to it is warehousing, where you are storing it. If this corner like this that Toby is sitting in is the size of your store that you keep 30 to around, you allocate a cost as a percentage of your rent of your shop. You would prorate it. If this is the size of your shop, this place like this is 30 by 20. That means you are now using 10 by 5 for it. Give it an amount, because if it is that you had to rent it only year, Abi, that space like that only year now, allocate it as part of your cost here. Tojepe is part of your pricing that is directly related. Oh, you have to say indirect. Go TVC. It's different from that. The part of your shop that used to sit down and entertain people is different from that. This one is directly related. Yes, we are aware it's directly related. We'll come together. We have the cost of all these things. Next thing we are doing, total value, 50 times 75. This times this. This times this. On any given day, when you finish like this and you get all your sum, all these numbers, and you add everything from here to here, at the bottom here, if when you are doing that stock count, is you and your girl, Eba Shetan is number 1. This stock taking that we've done here. Now, we are now talking about that your day-to-day inventory management. Each of these items will now have their own page. They will now have their own page. Each flour has its page. From the beginning to the end, it's for flour. The next thing, sugar has its page. Please, everybody, I'm just using this as an example. I tune it to your business. Flour has its page, sugar has its page, salt has its page. Everything has their page. When you want to make use of it, somebody contracts you for a cake. What is the size of the cake they are making? 6 inches. What are the requirements that go into it? You know that. 6 inches. Is it 3 layers? Is it 2 layers? Is it? All that math is for you to do. But what is the relevance of that to this contract? That your flour page. When you go to your store to collect those items, as you are weighing them, on the page of flour, at the beginning of the page, when you know the day that you did stock count, you will go to that flour page too, and you will write opening balance, opening stock, 50 kg. When you go and take what you want to use for your cake, you are weighing it out. You are weighing it out. There's something I have learned in my own baking experience, which is that cup is different from weight. Yes. And that if somebody tells you to use 2 cups to make a recipe, you can get it wrong. because things like that, they compress. And that the true weight is when you've sifted it, or when you've allowed air to go in, you realize that what you've measured as 1 cup, if you put it on a scale, it can weigh more than 125 grams. Whereas what you really need is that. It will not apply in every other business. But that's just to give you an example that when you are taking it out, you are not saying, you are not using 50 kg to start your book, and then you are now deducting, you are saying 1 cup. That's like saying that at the beginning you use 50 kg, then when you are withdrawing, you are using pounds. You have to use that same uniform measurement. You don't use, the day you are taking stock, you don't use centimeter. When you want to measure for your customer, you are using inches. That's, so common mistakes, whatever it is that is unique to your business, please be taking note of that. So you take that page that we said is for flour. Please, where's our duster? Okay. So you take that page that we've called the page for flour. So this is how the difference between, thank you, Toby, the difference between what we had and the next thing we are working with. The difference in how you are going to draw your page. Because only pattern Theofinifa that will not cause confusion for you, the owner of the business. You have your date. That date, they know they tell person. Date is very important in accounting. Date is the only reason why you and somebody will not fight. If somebody said, I paid you 100,000.
What date?
What date? What date? No, it was from the money you were owing me before. It was after that time. It's date that enables us to talk about things like that. Date is not, cannot be overemphasized. So the day you did your stock count, 1st of July, sorry, let's wait for the page to dry. So on your page, you are doing date, 1st of July, 2025. Description, flour, quantity, Abi? Opening quantity, movement, balance. That opening quantity is the same thing that will be on the balance. It's like your bank statement. When you look at your bank, the same way it has that same kind of pattern. So you are coming on that date, 1st July 2025. Description of the item is already at the beginning. Abi, flour. So you are coming here. On the first, this date, what is it? Stock count. Abi? Stock count. Quantity. Quantity. Opening quantity. That's opening quantity. Movement. Closing quantity. On the day you did the stock count, that quantity was 50 kg. Sorry, I know you cannot see this. It's not yet dry. That quantity was 50 kg. There was no movement, so we had 50 kg at the end of 1st of, or at the beginning of 1st of July, whichever one it is. At that time, 1st of July. So as you are finishing that stock count, you are entering this information here. You are signing here. Signature. Abi? That signature column, why is it important? If it is not you, if it is you and somebody else. So whether it's signature, whether it's initials, whether it's their name, just write there, Kelechi, full stop. Just simply there, that's the person that took that item. So you want to know who did it. So when you come to your store to say, I want to take this thing out, under that flour, you are coming here, you are putting the date, 2nd of July, 2025. What are we doing? What do they call it? Flour for 6-year-old, 6-inch cake. Flour for 6 inches cake. Quantity, you write the quantity. 3 kg. 3 kg. You know you already have your opening quantity. That what is here? If our opening quantity is 50 kg, we've brought 50 kg here. Movement is what? 3 kg. Minus 3 kg.
47 kg.
Our balance is now 47 kg. As you are doing it for flour, you are doing it for everything. For everything that it applies to. And that's how you continue to monitor it. The day you come and do your stock count, when you finish the count, you come and check what you have at the bottom of this page. for your next count. Tí ó bá jọra wọn, you now start asking questions like, do I have 3 different scales? Are my scales correct?
Somebody takes sugar.
Did some and then you start asking that, did you measure it correctly? No, I just took 2 cups. I've told you that you should not just take cups. You should actually, you come, if it is fabric that was there, person, and you're like, this fabric at the last stock count is not fast moving. We had half yard left. Person, I thought it was pieces. So I thought me. So that's where those things. So just like that, you keep tracking your items. You are tracking the movement. If something is not moving fast, sometimes your mind will not even go there. Say you are using bread flour and you are using whole flour, and every time you are making bread, but it's once in a while that people are coming to say they want a special type of bread where you have to use, and you've not gone to that other thing in a long time. It can be anything for any business. When you are doing stock count, if you open the page, that's what they call Moshiwe Notikoin. So I open the book of memory to reach. Then you now start looking for it. I left it here. Who took it? The only reason that you can ever find yourself in that situation and be sure that you are not mad is because you had it in writing. If no,
If you write it down, you think you are dying. But I have it here.
so then the person will say, but you gave me this. I say, no, I'm the one that measured it myself. I gave you 2 yards. Because why? You are sure of what you did. But if it's not on record, and the person just look at it like, how will she give me 2 yards? Can't she see that I'm busty? What does she want me to do with this? And the person goes there and they take. But if they know that, see, she does not play with. She does not play with it. If I do it, if pin is lost in that shop, she used to know it. You know why you are counting it, because if you are sewing clothes that has bead, you know that as you are doing it, it's breaking. So you are the one that knows the benefit of doing this. So with this, we've talked about stock counting, we've talked about inventory management, movement in stock per period. So this is how we are keeping our record for that. Sorry, I have 1 hour, so I will not want to dwell too much on any talk. The next thing we are going to talk about, we've talked about all these movements now. Next thing we are going to do, for the purpose of this our basic, we are not using T format of accounting or vertical. We are not doing any of those things. We are doing what is simple and practical for us in business at this stage. So the next thing we want to do for our record is for our expenses record. Our expenses record. Like we said before, the first thing that we are always going to deal with, date. Date can never be overemphasized. I'm with you.
Before you go on, after that date, the stock count, the movement, what is the next thing?
Date for sorry.
Yes,
To know. So you know that. So what you want to do is the date, description, date description, opening quantity, movement, and closing quantity. So you have your date, you have your description, opening quantity, movement, closing quantity. So the date of your stock count, let's say 1st of July 2025, the description of that stock count, Abi?
Yes.
Opening quantity, let's say 50, whatever. You don't even need to fill this, but let's say 50 kg, movement 0, closing 50 kg. Then you come, 50 yards. Sorry, 50 yards. So you come here on that same date. Sales. Number of yards minus 4 yards. Abi, under the movement, sorry, not here, but your opening quantity, you can bring it here, 50 yards. Movement minus 4. And then you have 46. You come to the next one, 46 yards. Minus 10 yards, 36. Next one, minus this. You sold to somebody, the person made that. Another reason is because when you buy more of that stuff, on the day that it is arriving, you are writing purchase plus
What is left? What is left?
no movement plus what you bought.
Movement will be plus what you bought.
Plus what you bought. So at that day, you had 10 kg of flour left. You went to the market, you bought 25 kg plus 25 kg. Notice that in this your inventory movement, nobody is talking about price in that place. Nobody is talking about price in that place. We're only talking about quantity movement. When you are talking about price, you are talking about when you are doing your stock count. If you do stock count after you buy the next purchase, the first one that you had on ground might have arrived in your shop for 75k, and then the next one, the price has come down or the price has gone up. It is changing the average value of what you have and everything. And that information helps you with your pricing, because for flour, for example, you have to know that the one that came in first has to be the one that goes out first. Comma expire, comma, peculiarities to your business. So you are keeping all those things in mind. If you want to go all the way, there are so many details you may want to keep. You can want to even put it inside your book. On the day that you are writing the stock chart, you can want to put a bracket in front of that item with the expiry date where applicable, so that even if you don't know where to check, even if you are just with your book and you are not in the shop, you can quickly check that I have 50 kg, because you can be going out, you can have money, and you can see a wolf of flour where they are dropping it, and you want to buy it, but you're like, the one I have safe is not expiring until December. Can I finish using it before I start using this one that is expiring next year, June? Would I have? Because sometimes for some businesses, it will not make economic sense. Because you'll be like, with the way I'm selling, how do I want to finish this one that is expiring in December? This one that they are selling cheap here is because it's expiring in February. But if you look at it and you're like, what I have is just 10 kg. I can finish it, then you'll be able to weigh the real cost of putting that money. Because if you go and buy it for the one that is going to expire in February, you didn't get a good deal if you are not going to use it. So those are the peculiarities, the uniqueness that for each business that you want to consider. So that is that. So the next thing that we are doing now, we are talking about general ledger, general records. If you have your business, you have a dollar account and you have a naira account, for example, and you spend in dollars and you are putting it in the same place where you are spending your naira, sure, you know that you did not spend when you spend 4.5 and it's dollar, you cannot record it in that same place. Your records have to be, you have to have this record in multiple places for multiple bank accounts. Once the account is more than one, that means that you are duplicating this thing for each account. Each account will have its own. So, and even if it is the same naira, you cannot withdraw money from First Bank and go and ask GTB for it. So you are in keeping your records here. You are keeping it to the T. You have to always know, this is the bank that I'm dealing with. So this our general ledger that we are doing here is cash book. But cash book does not mean that it is cash. because this is 2025. So it can be bank book, but it will now be, so it will now be FBN book for First Bank, GTB book, and so on for all the banks that you have. So I hope that that part, if there's a question, let me say it again. So if that is clear, that means that now we have date, we have description, we have bank. We have bank. Then we now have, what we are doing here, this cash book, what we are doing here is expenses cash book. I'm not yet talking about your income. I'm not even talking about your direct costs, your direct expenses. I'm talking about your general expenses. I'm starting from the bottom to the top. This thing is not everything here that is going to be allocation, prorated. Things like rent, you are allocating it. You will come and do that one at the end of the month when you are trying to close for the month. But at the beginning of the month, where you are incurring your normal expense, what are the things that will occur frequently? Transport. You come here, you write transport. How much did you use to take transport? 1,000 naira minus 1,000. You come to this place, the part where you wrote transport here. On that same line, you come and write 1,000. Even the plus here, this is where the minus is. That's what I mean by everything has two legs. There's a plus side, there's a minus side. We are not talking about debit and credit here. We are just talking about the two legs. So as you are seeing one leg, you are seeing the other leg. It is transport, 1,000. Here again, transport, 1,000. This first one is minusing from bank. So if you pay with your ATM card, you will come and put it here. If you did a transfer, you will come and put it here. As long as the money is moving from that account, you will come and put it here. Abi? Now, what about a case where you move money from bank? You collect it, lower POS. It's still your money now, but you spent. I mean, don't know something has happened. Charges long. What about the money you collected? You have to record that money. You collected money from POS at the junction. That money left this bank account and it became cash in your hand. So minus from your GTB account, 5,000 naira. You bring it under cash, 5,000 naira cash that you collected. Your charges is a different thing. You create the line for bank charges so that you will even know if you are paying too much charges. Because some people.
We need to have conversation with Nigerian banks about charges.
It's true. It is true.
So when I look at my bills and I say what I pay bank charges.
So you will know. So that when you think about it sometimes, when you want to collect money and they tell you that POS, and you think about it, you're like, if I walk down there, I will see the ATM. I can take bus from there and be going home. Or you can now say that, let me drop this thing with you, my customer. I want to go and withdraw money. I will come back. Then Alabaru will take it for. You can plan based on that information to say that the charges I paid last month is a lot. Why don't I withdraw that money from my bank's ATM? But if you look at everything that is on ground, I have so much to carry. And the next Kenny is the next bus stop. Nobody say you should kill yourself. You can call the POS person and negotiate. They say, and charges is 200 per 5,000. You can say, look at this now, I've spent so much. We know how we do these things. And you would know how to cut it down. Even if you cannot negotiate with your bank yet, you can still, work out what you want to do. Or you can tell the person that you are buying from that, because sometimes you have the cash. But if you can persuade that person to collect that money from you without charges, it is something. Even though you had the cash on you, but you will know that there will be somewhere else where you don't have a choice. So with this one, let me transfer to you. So, like we said, debt is good. Anybody that will allow you not to incur an expense, That's your best friend. So just like that, transportation minus 1,000 here. Cash, the money I collected from POS, 5K there. Like that for everything. When your month is coming to, if you are doing this, if you have to move to the next page, good. Even if you are not, still good. By the time your month is getting to 26, 27, 28, you are coming in with expenses that are routine. That means pay routine monthly expense. You can have a dedicated date where you start recording them. But these ones are routine expenses. Salary, rent, depreciation. So you know you don't want to mistakenly do it twice. Your salary, your rent, your depreciation, your warehouse rent, anything that is Loma bills. So your Go TV, all those things like that. Your data, monthly routine expense. If it is that, it is only once in a month that you are doing it. You now come and record those ones too and match them to their heads. You come and record everything, match everything to the head where it belongs to. You now draw your line at the bottom like this, and you now write the date, 31 July 2025. You will now come and write total. Abi? You now come and write total on that 31st of July. You now start adding every line. Bank, by the time you finish adding everything, if you open your bank statement, not SMS alert, bank statement, the amount must be the same. There is no circumstance where the amount should not be the same. It must be the same. You now check it by yourself. If it is that you printed the bank statement, you can now sit down with that bank statement and be using green highlighter to check for why there is a difference. You must have the time. You cannot be too busy to not have the time to do that. Because even for us that we are organization today, I've had situations where we are repaying loan and we find out that in a month the bank charged us twice, like 250K plus in that same month. So it's in the process of review that you'll be able to write letter to them that, come, this thing, you took it twice. Are we playing? So that's where that total, you would come and you now reconcile everything. This one, like this. This is your own idea of bank reconciliation. At this stage, when you carry that total figure under bank, you check it to your statement. That's why I said SMS alert, because that's why I said not SMS alert, because those big bank charges, sometimes you don't used to get the SMS.
Yeah, they don't send us SMS for it.
You will not get it. Every time that somebody is paying into your account, depending on the type of account it is, they can be taking 15 naira stamp duty. You will not be getting the SMS. So you will go and check. So at that point, that may be where you will now come and know your total bank charge for the month and come and write it and deduct it and see what you've done for the month. This one that we've done like this, you will do it like that every month. Every month, every expense you are incurring under their head, like that. You will know the ones that, you have to put them at the top, because number one, the ones that used to have plenty zeros, and you know the ones that you can. So you are the one that would know, based on your handwriting size and stuff like that, how you want. But this, you must have this as your expenses. As your expenses record, you must have it. Is it clear? Is anybody writing it down, or is? So like we said, it is for each bank. Oh. It's for each. So it's for each bank. The cash that is in your hand too, as long as it's your business cash, you must have another page that is for cash. Did you understand it? Yes. So if you've done this is GTB zone, first bank zone and everything. You must also have one for cash, for your petty cash. That money gongon that you collected, you must know how you spent that one too. So you do this, you duplicate it for as many banks as you have, for as many platforms as you are using. So we've covered how we are recording all our expenses like that. Things that are in your financial position that help you know how you stand, whether you're in a good place or in a bad place. Your assets and your liabilities, those ones, they are very, very, very straightforward to know. The reason why I said they are very straightforward to know is because we've talked about the components already, and we have already talked about how we are handling them. As I'm discussing expenses, I want you to know what ties to what in your recording. Cash on one side is an asset, and bank, they are assets, but they tie directly to your expenses when they are going out, and when they are increasing, they tie to your income. This general ledger here, we focused on the expense side. Abi, we focused on the expense side. But what will tell you how much cash you have at the end of the day is the movement of expense and the movement of income. But we've said that cash ties directly to both assets. That's how it ties to profit or loss.
So let's assume that this money now they're coming. Look at it, pay. It's not be good. Just be going out. I should not have small change in my hand in case you can follow. That kind of thing. You now say, my personal account will be paid to. So you now say, let me quickly take 5,000 from this business money. So stop POS. Collect 5,000. In your hand, it is cash, so it's an asset. But it then becomes a minus in your bank because you reduce your bank balance. So you see how it's both an asset because you are holding it, but it also becomes an asset because you reduce what is in your account.
In your account.
So that's how everything ties. As you are spending money, yes, you are acquiring something, but there's also minus on the other side.
On the other side. So everything has two legs. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That everything has two legs. It has one leg in how it affects your financial position because you have less money.
Yes, less money in the bank.
And another leg in your profit or loss because maybe you've already paid for electricity. So everything has two legs. If money reduces, it's because expenses have increased.
Yes.
If money increase, it's because income has increased. Everything has two legs. That's the point I'm trying to say. And it's the same thing with inventory. If inventory is reducing, it's because your direct cost of production has increased. Abi? That's what you will charge to the person that is going to pay you for your 6-inch cake. Your cost of production has increased. On match around, they go hand in hand.
So as you are removing, say for instance, now let's use using as an example.
Exactly.
As you are removing that flour and sugar that you are using to bake the cake, say I want now 6 inches cake, 3 layers, buttercream, red velvet. The problem. You go into the store now, you carry flour, carry sugar, carry everything. You know we are reducing inventory that is
in the
inside
store.
You know that we are reducing everything. But when we now go and sell it, Because I'm going to, the person that came to buy the cake, I think this cake. So it correlates to the income that is coming to you. So that income must balance the things that will be removed, though, and there must be small change plus profit. But if it's not, balance, that's the beginning of selling at a loss.
So, having done that, we are now going to talk about, we've talked about general expenses. We're now going to talk about direct expenses and how you are recording them. And we're still going to maintain our example that we were using before, which is just like a mirror opposite of your, what do they call it? Just like a mirror opposite of your inventory book. You are still coming here to come and write the direct cost. Date, description, sorry for the short form, but I just have to, date, description, item. I'm not going to tell you to merge or to not merge it. I'm not going to tell you that. Whatever works for you for this aspect. So your date, your description, the item, and then you now, you can decide to isolate it or to do it together. That's why I don't want to emphasize too much because it may not apply to other people. And then you have your total cost here. That TC is total cost. The reason I'm saying that is because, when you're doing 111, as much as we are simplifying it, we are not computers, and it can now become overbearing, and we want to avoid that. So everything you are taking on that particular date, which is 2nd of July, 2025, is for that 16 days, add it together, come here, straight, plus 1,500. Abby, this one, you come and put it here now, 1,500. That's for your 6-inch cake. Another person comes again, and the person, today, 5th of July, another person comes. The person wants 20 donuts. Everything that you are using, flour, yeast, sugar, everything, you come and do those ones again. Individually, you will calculate them here. 1, 2, 3, 100, 50, 10. You come here. What's the total? 160. What's your total here? 160. Which may be easier than carrying 15. Do 15 here. Then here, you will now come and do 15 plus 1,160. 1,160. 1,660. I don't know if you understood what I'm saying. Yes. That one may be easier and less confusing, but I'm trying to show you one of two things that you can be doing. It depends on how you like numbers. As long as when you add this one together, it will give you what you will have here at the end of the day. Plus 15 plus 1 this one is 1,060 minus 16. I now have 1,644 here. If you add this place together, it should give you the same number. If you add everything here, this one like this is moving balance. It's changing as everything is changing. This 1,664, if I add everything here together, it should give me that same figure as total, such that at the end of the month, I want to know the total costs I've incurred at the end of July. If I check here, we've already done that. That's where your general is coming from. So this one, for your direct costs, you are recording like this as it's happening. You are recording. Abi? It also means that at any point in time, you can even use it to know what is profitable and what is not profitable for each item. Which one is moving? Because you can look at it and be like, this thing is really moving. This thing moves a lot. But what if at the end of the day, as much as it is moving, you are not making profit. But if you are able to look at it that this thing, it doesn't move as much, or you look at it like, oh, this thing, when I make sales, it's just one single sale that I make, but you are the one that will now, you'll now be able to assess it, that which one is my cash cow, as it is. You can say, oh, you are doing lesson. You have this lesson that you do for the kids that come to your house, and all of them every month is stable inflow. Every month is stable inflow. It doesn't have to do with whether there is jam or anything. Every month, these people are paying me 10,000 for after school lesson. You are keeping track like that to know that they come, and it is what you are doing it every day, every evening. But what if you find out that there's just one child that you do lesson for? The parents are abroad. They are paying you $100 per month to teach their child, and you only have to do it on Saturdays and Sundays because of time difference. But that's the only child that you are taking video call and stuff like that. You can look at it and be like, it's true, I have 20 students that are paying me 10,000, but that's 200,000. But this one child, 100,000 is like 160K. It may be worth it, or it may be better for me to look for how to expand on my online classes, instead of just, because those 20 children, they can have 20 questions, and I will answer. I will answer 20 questions, but just that single parent that asked that child, and they will even appreciate me when they say, he did Cambridge, he got 7 A's, and then they give you more money that you're not even, we're not doing it, we're doing it because of that. Let me not lie. We're doing it for the money, but your result is showing, and the referrals, like, why don't I look for more referrals in this direction? So for every business, you are making donuts, you are making chin-chin. You can look at it and say, these donuts that I'm making, I'll still fry it and everything. And if I don't fry it, I'll sell it for 1-2 per dozen. If I fry it, I'll sell it for 1-4 per dozen. But yes, but I cannot tell people that I want to do it, because some people that are not pricing the way you are not pricing, as at yesterday, but you are now pricing today. But the people that are not pricing today too, they think they are making profits. So they are selling their donuts for 100 naira each, fried. And you find out that without frying it, you can sell it to people. Once you've mixed it, and you've shaped it, and you put cling film on it, that you can sell it to people in that state for 1-2. And you weigh the cost, and you're like, this may be a better thing for me, and let me focus on other items that have a longer shelf life, instead of just doing this one. So but you are the one that knows what works for you. This is just hypothetical. I do not say you should go and make donuts and not make change. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just citing examples. So with this, if there are questions on direct cost, if it is not clear, if I need to recap, please let me know. Do I need to simplify anything?
Is there anything that is confusing so far?
Mrs. Kenneth, any question?
I have a question.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, we that do provision selling.
Yes, ma'am.
Have minimum, Bombita, Nestle, it's Albert. So, literally, I have to write middle on the page, Bombita on another page,
It's
so
better.
on and so forth.
Yes, ma'am.
So, but there's this thing in my mind now. I buy the 4 of them the same day. The wheelbarrow pushes it to shop. I'm supposed to break down the cost of that wheelbarrow on each, or I should just target 300.
No, you allocate.
Okay.
It's an estimate. So yes, on the 4 of
Or
them.
if I go because of one carton, I have to just tell myself, wait, 300 plus.
Moma Shile, exactly. But for that one. But you know, if when you went to the market, you bought big tin of pig milk, and then you also bought sachets of pig milk, you can decide that out of that 300 naira, you want to allocate 250 to the big tin and 50 naira to the small sachet, because it is capable of absorbing more. So you will not now share it equally. And now say, I bought big tin and I bought small sachet. You now put 50 naira on small sachet and 50 naira on big tin, because you are not the only person that is selling Milo. So, you know, you are the one that would, you know, try to allocate it in a way that makes that makes business sense based on, you know, so that's that.
Any other question?
My question is on fabrics. Okay. Now, there are times that like I have different people that I buy from. Okay. Now, there are times that you buy from some, because of the way the uniqueness of their material is quite on the high side. And there are times that you're fortunate to get some big materials that you see very beautiful, colorful fabrics from. Now, I said it last week that a lot of people are like, oh, material, 1.5, you go to 2,000, this, that, this. Now, how would I do this question? The one you buy for, let's say I get it, the 1 yard for the bale, let's say is like 1.2. That's my cost. That's the size that I bought it, and it's like 1.2. The one for that other one is 1.5. You know, and I'm selling for 2,000. You know, I'm making 800 naira in one and 500 naira
in the other. Yes.
Now that one that is 1.5, you know that from that 500, I'm still going to remove all the 1.5 is the amount for because I bought it from the market. I have not removed my to not be as if that it's the same fabric. This one is, why would you say this one 2.5? And so how do I do that?
I'll tell you something that is the same. I'll tell you many things that are the same and that people are doing. Then we'll talk about the how. It's the same weaving. They turned perming to wash. No, they turned wash and set to perming. Perming. Washing and setting. They turned it to perming.
So that's how we went from 700
to 10,000. To 10,000. So, what is not the same? It's the same yogurt. They add fruit inside. It says parfait.
Now I pay 37,000.
Parfait, melody pine.
Melody pine.
Is
You already know when I said the price. You know what I'm talking about.
No, because we are going to talk about the how. There are things that are based on perception. There are things that you are going to add value to strictly based on perception. People are making cupcakes and they're calling it bouquet. And because of that bouquet, it is going from normal 500 naira cupcake to 30,000 per dozen.
Let me give you a quick example. This example you gave me just reminded me of something. So there are some of us who have dietary restrictions. So, for instance, I was telling you how I can't eat regular flour. So there are people that are called special. They call themselves. It's the same baking you're doing, but they call themselves specialty bakers, and they only bake, gluten-free pastries. My darling, 1 loaf of bread, gluten-free bread, they tell that it's 16 taps.
And brioche is 21k.
And brioche, that's regular brioche. You might want brioche.
Exactly. If she wants brioche, I don't know.
30,000.
To eat bread, normal bread.
Is it not the same bread that old English is selling for 1.5? Look, people, it's all about perception.
So,
one donut, when I buy 50 free donut, one donut is 2.5.
so the reason we are saying this is because some things you would have to appeal to people's psychology. The person comes and says this, you say, actually, this thing that they want to take, they cannot take it because somebody has already said that you have one customer that when you bring unique fabrics, she's the one that always wants this type of fabrics. So it's not as if, like, so you mean I'm not, and with the way you are talking, oh yeah, if you will pay 2.2. With the way you are talking, if you will pay 2.2, only because I don't want to chase you, because that person, she's coming, and I'm telling you, the way she does when she comes, once she comes, my day is made. But these are the things she wants, because they saw it, that is the same as that one, and they did not leave it. After all, they are the same. Are they not the same? They are the same, but that person did not leave it. So you too, sometimes for some things, you have to tell people that this one is Nigerian cow leather. This bag is made from Nigerian cow hide. It is not fake leather. It is actually real leather from cow. Therefore, this bag, this bag is not selling at that price. And the person says, I say, no, I'm telling you, the people that know it, if they come here, it will not stay. The people that know cow hide, different from regular leather, when they come here, it will not stay. So it's not that all these other ones that you want to take, I'm satisfied with it. You're not being rude, you are staying polite, you are staying on course, but you are just, sometimes you have to understand people's psyche, because the person that is telling you is the same, wants that thing too. They also want to use it to make a statement. So you too, you would, establish, because there are things that are just, don't be my name was there are some things that they are just for swag. And you would recognize it sometimes, and you would, even the thing that you are selling normally on a regular day, if I have not bought from you before, if I come to your shop, I have to come with the mind that I've not bought it before. Therefore, you too, you want to cheat me. Therefore, me too, I'm coming to your shop, and me too, I want to make sure that you don't cheat me. So we start that conversation, and look at it. I sent my sister to buy phone case for me, and she has been going, but because I told her I did not want black, she has not been buying it for me. So I went out to Surulere, and then I didn't see any colored case that I liked, but I saw a black one that I liked, and then I bought it for 4,000 or 6,000, can't remember. And then she was like, I was like, it's like 1.5. I was like, wow. Wow. As far as I'm concerned, because I did not even feel fine on that day, such that I was like, it's not as if I'm buffing up, so you cannot cheat me. I fit into, yes, that I was very, very confident in what I had bought, until I got home and she was like 1.5, and I was like, so she said, I said 2.5. She said, yeah, she said, I was like, no more. But the extent, I could not even declare. Because she had already washed it. So I just had to take. But that, what I'm trying to say is that these things, there are some things that you will just have to tell them that, this one is American crepe. Yes, it's the same kidney, but this one is Turkish. That's what they tell us about all these things now. And those fabrics, they are also making those, they can make it in kitchen if you sit down well with them. But, so you have to just, for some things, you just have to package them. For some things, you just have to classify or categorize your customers. It's not about, discriminating or whatever. You have to know who can pay. For what? For them to spend this money, they must be stealing. No. You have to be, like me too, I'm aspiring to be that person. So the person that is the leader in whatever industry you find yourself, you too, you are aspiring, you are looking at that design, you are doing your own low budget Birkin bag. Abi, until the day that you come and you say, this is so halal brand, everything I'm making is from this, all our fabrics, our leather is ethically sourced, Abi, and then you come and you present it, and it is what it is. So you are the one, you are going to, from now, start having that mindset that this is where I'm going to. And once you think it, you can achieve it.
Yeah. Also, David does also say that we also need to, as we're thinking mass market, we also need to be thinking.
Wait one.
We also need to be thinking, how can we add value to certain specialty markets? So this is another thing I teach, and I'm teaching business development. For instance, I've already talked to you about the specialty baking sector. One of the few specialty bakers I have, one thing that he has learned out with is that he does both. He bakes the normal, your 500, 1,000 naira meat pie. But when those of us that are specialty customers show up, we say, I do, like, oh, gluten free, your meat pie is 2K. We know, we will pay, because we understand that that's the price. He has learned to create a market that allows him to sell to those who need that specialty service and still sell mass market. The same thing with those of us who make clothes. One of the biggest untapped markets in fashion is the disability market. There, if you are a parent of a child with disability, you know, you'll find clothes that your child can wear without stress. So what are tailors do? What are tailors do? You think that if you went to the market now and you found a ready-to-wear dress for Fiona that did not require you to button and twist her into 200 shapes before she could enter inside, and they call it times 2 of the price of the regular one, you will not close your eye and buy it.
I remember that growing up, Tommy Hilfiger was considered mass-produced. It hasn't changed. It is the exchange rate that has now made it seem like a luxury. And then Primark is now in that range where before Primark used to be like, oh, travel or Primark were for me. £5. But it was so, because when somebody is telling you that exchange rate is 95 kobo, 95 cents for 1 naira, which means that 1 naira is more than that. You now travel out, you now come back, you now buy something of £5 or for them. That's like five naira. So those things that used to seem so mass produced and basic, now they are looking expensive because of where we are. But the point is that even the big brands that we see that people are bringing here from abroad and everything, the biggest brands, what they've all embraced that has put them in everybody's house, is that mass production. But they now manage to have a niche, because you find out that Atmosphere and Primark are the same thing. It's the same person, just like Pick Milk and 3 Crowns are taking us for.
Calm down. Listen, it's Big Milk, 3 Crown, Nunu, Mixi. All of them are producing
the same place. So my point being that you have to look at what the big people are doing and copy them. They too, they are not too big to want small money.
Yeah. So you will go. You say, Pink is for big people, but I can't buy Pink. I will buy Mix. All the money sent inside
the same account. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So we will get there. But even as we are working now, we just have to, work on those foundational skills that would ensure that when we get to that place, we don't use bad character to chase people. Because you are building the brand, you are getting money. But your mouth, if they say 1, you say 10. So,
Alright, so do you have any other questions?
we're moving to the next thing. No questions again. Ati Roger, dear. Okay, just a minute. I'm with you.
I said, like me now, sometimes I used to write what I need to buy for my program. Then I don't go to market. I'll just send it to my husband whenever I know that he's around Agege market. I'll just send it to him and he will help me to get what I want. So what about the transportation? Am I still going to do plus and minus on it? Yes. I did not use my own transport. So he used his own.
So he dashed you money.
So yes, he not used to collect his transport. So I want to know how we do that aspect.
Okay, so we talked about it last week. We said it last week that kind of thing is that he dashed you money. Say you are going to go and buy goods and we meet inside the bus and I pay your transport fare. I dashed you money. It's you I gave now. It's not the business. It's you I gave. Did he give it to your business? They come inside your shop and no now. Even if that one, that's now an increase to your capital, you go still record them. So is that they dash you money? That's they dash you. You know, they just dash you money. It may not reflect on your books in terms of bank and everything, but it should reflect in your pricing. At the very least, you should maintain the cost of what you already have. It should so while it may not reflect, pricing is a different thing from all the books we are keeping here. The books, your pricing is for you. It's different from everything that we are doing here. Pricing is for you to know how to mark up for sale. If you are looking at it, pricing is that I'm allocating a portion of my rent to the cost of sale. I'm not putting it as the value when I'm doing my inventory. I'm not putting my rent on my Milo. I'm not putting it on it. But that value, what it's doing for me for pricing is that I now know that the minimum cost of my Milo to me is 50 naira. And let me rephrase that. The cost of my Milo to my shop, carriage and everything is 50 naira. But if I'm going to cover my overheads, my total overheads at the end of the month comes to 100,000. And for me to be able to cover that 100,000 naira, the least I can sell my Milo will now be how many units of this did I buy? I bought 5,000 sachets. So this 5,000, I use it to divide 100,000, 20. So that means that I have to treat, for the purpose of pricing, I have to treat this Milo as if I bought it 70 naira. I won't be able to cover that. And then because I want this business to make profits, I will now mark it up to 100 naira. Bless you. I now mark it up to 100 naira. I'm adding a 30 naira increase. Or you can make it a percentage. You can say I want to add maybe 50% on it. So that will now be maybe 105 naira. Like, okay, people will be asking for 5 naira. I don't want to be looking for 5 naira. So I make it 100 naira. This pricing also means that if somebody comes to me and the person says, I don't have 100 naira, I have 90 naira, you can decide that the minimum profit I must make on an item is 20 naira. Therefore, if somebody wants to pay 90 naira, I can let it go. I can accept. That's the jale. That, okay, if they want to pay this, I can accept. So those are decisions that are informed by pricing. That's what pricing does for you. So it's not that when you are counting your inventory, you are going to be saying that it is 70 naira. No, it's not 70 naira. For the purpose of your inventory and stock taking and everything like that. For that purpose, the price is 50 naira. I bought it for 40 naira. When I was going to the market, 5 naira. When I was in the market, Alabaru, 1 naira. When I was coming back, I got it cheaper transport, 4 naira. Therefore, it is 50 naira that got it to my shop. That is what is direct cost. That is what I'm using for valuation. Do you see the difference? Yes. So valuation that's the value of what is in my store. But pricing is for me to be able to be profitable in my business. So that I will not say that, it got to my shop for 50 naira, therefore I can sell it for 60 naira. Then you will now not be able to pay rent and electricity and those things. So that's the difference, where you think that because you bought it for 45 naira, you can sell it for 50 naira. Yes, ma'am.
My question is that, you know that we do not think the same. Assuming now, like we are in a shop, my neighbor to me, maybe third shop, all in your mind is that Kolonle Kodo. But my own ledger that I bought, I calculate everything, transport, gain, all the necessary things. So I'm sewing my own lunchbox, maybe 4,000 naira. It's sewing your own 3,500. Know that if people want to buy, they will branch to your place. For Laira, they say, assuming now, it's the same material we use. How your own cost pass you don't money. So what is the solution to
that? That's the solution to that. So let's talk about this thing. When you are with people and they are doing the same thing as you, the solution to it is to be faster than them. I will tell you what I mean by that. And I will use real life example. My mom sells in Aleshinloye market. Aleshinloye is not different from Eko, where when you enter a row from beginning to end, everybody is selling the same thing. The difference is that you have to be faster. Once you are going to go and get something, you introduce this design, you are selling it. By the time they are catching up, you've moved to so yes, you are making lunchbox. My own is insulated. This you have to be faster than them. You have to pay attention to details. You have to upskill. The solution is to upskill. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? If the two of you are making cupcakes, when they bite yours, if it bounces, if it is not grainy, when you are that leather you are selling, is not the same. If this is the pattern they have and this is the pattern that you have, you would always look out. You have to be faster than them. You have to be innovative. And another thing, you have to eliminate middlemen. You would cut back on your cost. You will cut back on your cost. That's the way you are going to do it. You will cut back on your cost. If you can, you would go to schools. You would go to schools. You will start going to schools around now because they are going to close in July. You will go to the schools and tell them for end of the year party, you can make customized lunch bag for them to use as souvenir to put the gifts for the children. Christmas packs. You have to be faster than them. Yes, you have your shop as a front, but you would have to expand and extend your tentacles beyond that place. So that when you come, you are not coming to come and compete because that person is not making profit. That person is competing with you. Are you competing with the person? You are not. So you have to set yourself apart and focus on your focus. To pay in the short time, can pay in the long run. Do you understand? If somebody is not pricing properly, if it is you don't compete with people like that o. Wọ́n máa lọ gbé ọjà láti China wá sí Alẹ́ṣinlọ́yẹ́, ẹgbẹ́ ó kọjá lórí omi, ó dé Èkó, ó dé Ìbàdàn, ẹ máa wá fi 50 naira ta.
Obviously, it's not running at the
Do you understand? You have to be in whatever area you find yourself. You have to be faster than them. You have to be faster. You have to soak up every creative juice possible to make sure that what you are doing is unique. What you are doing is, it's a standout service. You're sewing. When they open the lunch bag, the inner part is not showing thread and whatever it takes for your business that is ethical, that is legal. So, our next topic is revenue, in the absence of any questions. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. My question is, can the profit one make, can it be too much?
Can the profit be too much?
Yes, that.
What would define profits being too much is your customer retention.
Okay.
How does it translate to customer retention for you? Because people are selling human hair, and we may say that the profit is too much. People are selling things. People are selling clothes like this one, and they are selling it for $1,000. People are selling things, and you look at it and you're like, I cannot see the difference.
I just saw somebody post about one of the dress for 300 pages.
People are selling things, and you can say that this thing, but that thing, your business has to have a goal, because all these Louis Vuitton and Co that are selling bag, their leather is sourced from Kano. Italian leather. The legal justification for putting Italian leather or made in France on an item is that the value that has been added to it is significant in converting it. So they make everything for the bag. But the tailors that sew the zip are in France, and then they put made in France. But the entire fabric assembly and everything is China. But France not run zip, so they will say that the bag is made in France. But the zip is from China, but sewn in France. And because of that, we saw how this recent semi-Cold War went, where they were telling us that the bags that we are seeing for $2,500 are actually $200. And this is the shop of the supplier. These are just standard. But for you that you made a cake, after you finished making it, the value of your time that you used to use flour to make a doll, and the eyes look like normal eyes and everything, and it's not looking like Labubu, it's looking like a proper. That means you come and you say that this cake, everything that I used to make it cost me $2,500, but I add an extra zero and it's $25,000, and so be it. And it is your call. But the most important thing is that when it comes to your book, in the same way we have for our costs, date, description, unit price, quantity, total price. And then you have an extra column for your total, which is like your balance. And then you are doing it every month. So you know how much you have made in a month. If you did not understand that thing, let me know so I can write it out. So date description. Date description, quantity, unit price, that's unit selling price, then the total selling price, and then the balance. So, date, today's date, 5/7/25, description, 6-inch cake, quantity, 2. Unit selling price, 25,000 per cake. Total selling price, 50,000. Balance, 50,000. Like that. And this is your balance You are balancing it up. The second leg is entering your bank or your cash book, wherever it is. So they give you, if it's cash, if it's, and then you'll be remembering your plus and your minus, like that. Under what will we do if there is a return? Well, I don't know what your return policy is. But let me just, say you finish making the cake for Valentine and they broke up. So, but I mean, so things like that. Let's talk about her, because she thinks it's not possible. So God forbid. But let's talk about it. Or the cake is dispatched, but between the dispatch rider and the federal government, the cake break. Abiboya local government, they need between the cake that on the. So this thing also speaks to something else. It speaks to, let's say your cake is going to Ibadan. You finally find somebody that is getting married in Ibadan. You send cake to Ibadan, but you do not follow the cake. Do you have somebody in Ibadan that can go there and rearrange for you? But all I'm saying is that for any business, there can be risk. And the point I just want to make is that if there is a return at any point in time, as you are doing your minus here, your minus here is also affecting your minus in your cost of sales. It may not be the case for you, but for some businesses, it's for you. The reason why it's not the case like that is because that cost of sale has been expended. So in your own case, your income is only reducing your cash if you have to make a refund.
That's it, because you
But
cannot bring the sugar and
you cannot. But in a case of fabric, that's refund, revenue, and refund.
stock.
I'm showing you the two legs. The reason I'm saying is because everything has two legs, and I want everybody to see the two legs that every single thing has. Revenue and refund. Your inventory is increasing. Your cost of sale is reducing. Everything has two legs. That stock that increase, it means that the cost of the things that you have sold for that period has reduced. It doesn't apply to you. It will not apply to your Zobo. It will apply to data, but grandma does not return data. If you've loaded it, you've loaded it.
Although at times when my customers say, they've not seen it too, I will message, because I use app. I don't use all this OP.
Okay.
I use the
App.
network app. So I will message them. So they will try to verify. If they are going to refund, they will let me know that it's refunded. If it has gone, they will let me know that
Successful.
If it is successful. So time they will give me the.
So profit or loss is revenue minus direct costs minus overhead. That's how we will know our profit. We've talked about how to record our costs. Last week we talked about how we will present our financial profit or loss. I don't know if I need to recap that. I don't think I need to. But based on that, you know that you see all those bottom line from your costs. When you want to do your profit or loss, that's what you will now come and do. Revenue is equal to all the amount that is here. You put it here under Naira 50 million. You come expenses, direct costs, revenue minus your total direct costs at the end of the month. You put it here. Total direct costs 10,000. The overhead costs, based on what you've calculated, you come and put it here. 200,000. Profit. That's what is left. Month on month on month on month.
At the end of the year, you add everything.
You add it for the year.
You know whether we made profit or we made loss or we broke even.
So So, if we are clear on this, if we have any other questions to ask, but we have this. And so far, it doesn't sound like anybody is taking interest. Okay, she mentioned interest-bearing loan. Why are you using easy money, ma?
I do business with cooperative money, so there was this time Miracle was admitted, and though they will not harass me, but they will harass my guarantors. So I had to borrow that money to pay for the hospital. Because their own is the interest on the money in cooperative. If you don't bring their money, it's not their problem. But it's that interest. They will harass the people that stood for me. They must pay, so, and I don't want that. So I had to borrow that money because they gave me immediately. I had to transfer it to them.
So we would not have such an experience again. Amen. And we have taken from here, especially last week, the importance of having emergency funds. HM or the other, that even if it's Ilera Eco, which is commendable if I'm going to say so myself. It's now 50K for family of 4. 15 per person. It used to be 8,000. Yeah, 8,005. And it was even 8K for family of 5 before, or family of 4. I don't know. Couple and 4 children, I think, or something like that. But now it's 15,000. But it is still a better annual investment compared to buying malaria drugs every time and stuff like that. So having something as as reliable as that, participate. If you must participate in contributions, it has to be the type where the parties involved are all sincere. I can do a job as long as I'm number 1. So when I'm not number 1, it means that all the people I'm dealing with, I can loan them my money, but I know them to the extent that there is something tied to that timeline that made me feel that that timeline works for me. And those people, I know them that well. And, my friends know me that we can also do police involvement. So I'm very, very sincere about how we do it, stuff like that. So, I mean, not that, when I say my friends know, I don't mean that, my friend, I'll go and call police for you. No, that's not what I mean. I mean that if we realize that we are not being sincere, that maybe you say that, if you've collected it last week, I know my money will not get missing, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. So we should, do it with that mind that if you decide that that's something that works for you, but I don't know why you want to do it. Reason being that you have piggy vest, you have all those other ones that.
The sense behind that job.
No, there is, because even in the absence of interest, do you understand? Even if you say, okay, there's no interest. If I think that even if I save 100,000 each from today till September, it is not going to cover for an expense that I need 1 million naira for. But I'm able to do something else, and I know that the other ones, I'll be able to pay it out at a later date instead of going to the bank.
So it's just free loan.
So it's a free loan, even though I'm not number 1, even if I'm number 4. But I know that that day that number 4 falls on is the day that I need that money, and then I'll pay the rest later without interest. That is not a bad deal, as long as the people involved. Yes, it's a 0 interest loan, as long as the people involved, are sincere enough. So bless you. So that's just the mindset. The people that started these things too, our ancestors, they're not stupid. It's just that when people don't deal with integrity, it changes the goalposts. So whatever we are doing, let's just do it with all our senses open. Let's do it with because people are depending on us as mothers. So let's be very, very critical about it. So thank you very much for having me.
Video for customer service last week. We have a video for digital marketing. And then, you guys are so lucky. We have a digital marketing expert in the room that will answer all your questions. All those questions you want to ask me, I don't know anything about it. But there's an expert that will answer your questions. However, pay attention for the next 30 minutes on this video and take note.